Greetings Simplicity. Today we have with us Dr. Bala Venkat Subramaniam from Ganga Hospital. To the many who don't know about him, he is a renowned anesthesiologist and academician across the globe.
His participation and knowledge has been perceived and appraised by some of the most prestigious institutions, along with him being the guest faculty for the World Congress of Anesthesia for the past 3 consecutive editions. He has been the guiding light for many apprentices who today have reached a better stage. Dr. Bala Venkat's knowledge, skill and achievement is a value-added gem to the city of Coimbatore. Let us hear from the doctor himself.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you, sir, for joining us. Can you give us an insight into your medical career? How did your journey start?
It has been always my fascination to do medicine, especially because I got attracted because of my family practitioner to whom I used to go as a child. So I thought if possible I also would wanted to become a doctor, and fortunately it became a reality. So I did my medical career in Coimbatore Medical College, MBBS. Then afterwards I did my entrance examination All India and took on to the anesthesiology fraternity. I did my postgraduate diploma in anesthesia at BJ Medical College, Pune, and subsequent to that I wanted to do my masters. So I did my MD in anesthesiology at the Postgraduate Institute at Chandigarh, and after finishing that I came back to Coimbatore and started my work as a consultant in Ganga Medical Center and Hospital, Coimbatore. And now it's about 22 years since I joined this institution to pursue my work in the field of anesthesiology.
As a doctor, your role involves to be a part of every surgery. What kind of pressure do you go through? How important is the role of an anesthesiologist in a surgery?
That's indeed a very good question. Number one, the face of anesthesia is completely changing now. Initially, it used to be an anesthesiologist is present from the beginning of the surgery to the end of the surgery, and people think the task is over when they give anesthesia. But however, the recent times, the concept has completely changed, and we now call it as peri-operative care, which means you assess the patient in the pre-operative period, provide them with anesthesia inside the operating room, then continue to take care of this patient in the post-operative period, especially to make sure that his pain is taken care of and all his blood parameters and all his cardiovascular parameters, which means the blood pressure, pulse, everything is back to normal. So this concept is called as perioperative care, and I'm very happy to share that there are very few institutions in this country which offers perioperative care, and we are happy that Ganga is one which we operate perioperative care to this patient. What does it actually mean? Now you know that patients of different age group come for surgery, and more and more people live in the older age group, and majority of them have to undergo joint replacement surgery. They fall down in the bathroom, have a hip fracture. And you will realize that majority of them who have crossed 80, 85 years will have multiple other medical problems like diabetes, hypertension, previous history of heart attack, bronchial asthma. So which means they are not in the best of their clinical efficiency to undergo a major surgery. So when you see them preoperatively, anesthesiologists optimize their blood pressure, their diabetes level, the breathing pattern, make them fit for a surgical procedure, then provide anesthesia, and then continue them in the high dependency unit to make sure that they return back home. So the concept of anesthesia has changed, and now we call it as perioperative care. In all institutions which have anesthesiologists perform this perioperative care, the outcome is very good.
The procedure of anesthesia involves a lot of caretake and post-surgery care also. What happens if something goes wrong? Like, how important it is for a person to be aware of the anesthesia that he's going through?
So it's very crucial. Anesthesia forms an important component of surgery, and in fact for a patient who comes for a surgery, there are 2 things which is very important. One, they want to be alive after the surgery, and they fear anesthesia means it is equivalent to almost near death. Truly, in all sense, it is true, because when you anesthetize a patient, when you give the complete anesthesia, you take him to a comatose stage where he does not realize anything that is happening, and then we just bring him back to life. So it does involve a tremendous amount of involvement by the anesthesiologist, and that is why it is very crucial that every anesthesiologist see the patient preoperatively, and strategy has to be evolved, a planning has to be evolved on what kind of anesthesia that you're going to give to this particular patient. Now, anesthesia has become much more safe. In the ester years, they used to give complete anesthesia, but now in the modern era, the anesthesia gadgets have completely changed, and now what we use is called ultrasound guided nerve block, which means it's also called regional anesthesia. That part of the region of the body which needs to have pain relief and anesthesia, you specifically go to the nerve which supplies that particular part which is injured. Using an ultrasound machine, identify the nerve, go and inject, we call it as local anesthetic solution to the nerve. So with that, within 5 minutes of administering the drug, the leg becomes completely numb, and you can have the surgery done without the rest of the body getting involved. So this is called as site-specific anesthesia, also called as regional anesthesia. So this is the modern era of anesthesia. So where the answer to your question is, if you see the patient preoperatively and you strategize an appropriate anesthesia, it's almost like tailor. Tailor fits in his clothes to different individuals differently to suit them. Here also you plan to give an anesthesia, tailor-make anesthesia to make sure that they get an anesthesia which will make them pain relief, at the same time they remain safe. And I also want to add, in the whole of the country, we are one of the pioneers in regional anesthesia, and we have 10 ultrasound machines inside the operating room, which is used only by anesthesiologists. Normally you will see an ultrasound is used by a radiologist to take care of scan of various parts of the body, but in our institution we use the ultrasound machine to give regional anesthesia to all our patients. Because we are one of the leaders in this particular aspect of anesthesiology, we have got trainees from across the country and across the world. The World Federation of Society of Anesthesiologists have recognized our center to train doctors from developing countries, which we started in 2012. So we get 4 trainees from different countries every year come and train with us. And similarly, we also have postdoctoral fellowship in nerve block and pain management, which is a super specialization training. We have 2 seats per year, and this is the only center in the country having this. So this kind of specific learning makes it easy to provide anesthesia even to patients who are otherwise compromised.
Being in such a serious medical profession, how do you strike a balance between your personal life and your professional life?
I think it's a very, very vital question for all of us. For me, however, how many hours I work here, the minute I entered the door of my house, I shut off that part of the brain which thought about the patients and the hospital, and then I would like to give a complete focused time to my children and my wife. So it's very pertinent that they need to realize that even though I'm at home for a very short while, that number of minutes or hours is completely for them, and I give an undivided attention to them. And if you think you're pressurized, you're pressurized. I would want it to be very truthful to you. We don't have the pressure at all. The system has got used to it, and you know that this is earmarked for you for the day, and we handle it with ease. And even when we deal with a critically ill patient, we are at our best to make sure that no emotional attachment is with the patient. You quiet and calmly, you try to handle the situation. In fact, if you see, anesthesiology is like mathematics, and you need to have the right calculation to get the right results. So we don't really get pressurized either by the critically ill patient or because of long hours of work. And also, to make things easy for me, I would do every morning when I get up, the first few minutes is to enrich myself with positive thoughts and positive vibrations. So I think it's very crucial for all of us to spend some time early in the morning when the mind is quiet and calm, to face all the challenges of the day, to start with very positive thinking and positive books. So every day you take the challenges with great positivity. I think you convert challenges into opportunities to grow.
What is the most that you like about Coimbatore, and how does it feel to live in? Why Coimbatore is your place of abode?
This is a real good question, and it's very close to my heart. I feel extremely happy and proud to be a Coimbaturian. And this I'm telling even after visiting several cities across the globe and across the continent. The minute you touch Coimbatore, you feel at peace. I think this city is a city which has been made in heaven because it's got the best of everything. The best of people, the best of climate, the best of institutions, the best of entrepreneurship, the best of medical facility which is available. And the best part of it is cities like this which have grown find a lot of issues within, like profound pollution, bad weather, not a tasty water, and congested roads. However, I think all this is not part of Coimbatore in spite of its growth. You got the best of the water, so sweet to taste, the best of the people who speak so very nicely, because we get trainees from across the globe, and when they come to the city, they feel at home, and when they leave, they are in tears. They said that this has been one of the most welcoming cities they've ever seen. So I think it's the best city to live in. Even if somebody gives an option of living in big metro cities like London and New York, I would still prefer Coimbatore because I would consider this as the king of the cities.
Thank you, sir, for joining us and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.